Greetings, Otaku Faithful. Thank you for joining me again this week. Once again, it's Larry Williams, OAW Commander-in-Chief, and I'm here to bring you all yet again another Sons of Anarchy episode review right here on Otaku Assemble! Weekly, as always, I'm here to bring you the latest in this week's Sons of Anarchy episode review, and this is my review of Season 5, Episode 7, entitled Toad's Wild Ride. So, my thoughts, general thoughts on the episode as a whole. Once again, this is one of those episodes where the preview for this episode that was shown at the end of last week's episode is very misleading, because going into this episode, what was the preview? What were the commercials? We're thinking, Wayne's gonna get snuffed in this episode. And once again, shit didn't turn out the way that, they advertised it as. So, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but Sons is definitely that type of show. They've done that. I've lost count how many times they've pulled that shit. So this is another one of those episodes where you're kind of expecting this to happen, but then it doesn't happen, and it's like, it's almost to the point where it's like, you can disregard the commercials because the shit ain't gonna happen the way you think it's gonna happen. So that's a pretty safe rule of thumb. So yeah, it wasn't a bad episode, but yeah, those fucking commercials are misleading. So, you gotta be careful with that type of shit. Anywho, but general thought, now that my general thoughts are out of the way, few things I want to talk about in this week's episode. Okay, first and foremost, we gotta go back to the whole Clay thing, because we found out in this week's episode, last week ended with us finding out, Clay was responsible for hiring the Nomads to do the break-ins, but now in this episode we found out what his motives were, his goal, his reasoning. And yeah, I'm sorry, but this is another case where I sure as hell hope somebody picks up that phone, because I fucking called it. I fucking down to his motives for doing so. I fucking called it. So, but to be honest though, we found out Clay was the one who hired the Nomads to do it. But then, one thing that did surprise me, I didn't think that Unser was going to share that information with Jax so quickly. Like, I was surprised that this episode opened up with Jax, Bobby, and Unser just coming to that general consensus. Like, alright, the Nomads are the ones who's doing it, Clay is responsible for it, and this is why. I didn't expect them to catch on that quickly. But the thing is, with my thoughts on that, first and foremost, I like the fact that they were able to, come to that conclusion as soon as they did. But there were times where I was feeling like Jax was leaving himself vulnerable. Like when he met with Frankie in the parking lot. I kind of felt that. But when he suggested that Wayne go to the house to meet with the other two Nomads, I thought that was stupid. Because I was like, dude, they're going to fucking kill him. I thought that was stupid. Granted, it didn't work out how I thought it was, but I was like, dude, he's going to go into that house, they're going to fucking kill him. See, that's where I thought it was going to happen at. Like, I thought Clay was going to be there, and that's when they were going to do it. And it wasn't until I saw the commercial right before the episode came on that I noticed they were in Wayne's trailer. So that's when I was like, okay, but, that's what I thought was going to happen initially. But anywho, so getting back on Clay, the reason why I brought up the whole, Wayne Jax thing is because, Clay betraying the Nomads, to be honest, I think he's just trying to cover his ass at this point. It was pretty obvious that he was going to betray them when Juice saw them pull up and then called Clay. So that's how I knew it was like, yeah, he's setting them up. But yeah, I think Clay's just trying to cover his ass at this point. Then again, you could also argue that Clay did it intentionally to put himself in a position where it's like, hey, guess what? I found out that after Wayne talked with me, I figured out, yeah, the Nomads were the one they were responsible for it, and I snuffed them out. I went ahead and took care of that shit. It kind of puts Clay in a very favorable position because he's kind of like the hero now. He was the one who found out that the Nomads, because of course, like I said, Wayne, Jax, Bobby, theory. They didn't have any proof. Clay was the one who proved it. And then he set the whole thing up to where him and Wayne teamed up and took him out. You see what I'm saying? Clay could very easily try to spin that story in his favor. So both things are he might be trying to do both. He might be trying to play the hero card while covering his ass simultaneously. He might be trying to do both. I think he's just trying to cover his ass, but I'm not ruling that other theory out. Alrighty then. Let's see. What else do I want to talk? Oh, Jimma. Okay. Now my thoughts on Jimma, I'm gonna keep pretty damn short. Granted, after the thing, after she got carjacked, I was thinking it's like, yeah, Jimma's the shit's finally starting to catch up with her, and then we saw a car accident at the end, so maybe that is like shit coming to full gear catching up with her, not the whole carjacking bit. Because honestly, I don't think Abel's gonna make it out of that car crash. I don't think he's gonna make it. And that's gonna put Jimma in the shit, I think, with everybody. I mean, Jax, Tara, definitely that's gonna put her in the shit with them. Nero, I think, is gonna be very less likely to even want to be around Jimma anymore. All in all, the shit was already bad enough as it was with the carjacking. That was her shit catching up with her. But the car crash on top of that is like overkill. Like there's no redemption there for Jimma. I don't see that happening. But I will end it on this note though. Jimma's little teary-eyed confession with her and Jax, I didn't buy that. Mainly because now I'm sold on the idea, because I've already pretty much aired my grievances about Jimma, but now more than ever I'm convinced that Jimma is cuckoo. She's crazy. I'm actually pretty sold on that idea that Jimma is legitimately crazy. And correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong about this. But doesn't Jimma have some type of hereditary mental condition? Like, go back to season 2. The episodes when Jimma went to visit her dad. Didn't they mention something about her mom having a mental condition? And didn't Jax say something, I want to say it was either in season 2 or 3, where he referenced that there's a condition in their family? Or maybe it's a health condition, maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's like a physical condition and not a mental condition. Could be one or the other, could be both, could be neither, who knows. I'm just trying to, because I remember they were saying something about Jimma's mom wasn't right. And yeah, if that's the case, looks like the daughter's become the mother, because I am sold. I'm convinced at this point that Jimma is batshit fucking crazy and she doesn't know it. She's psycho. She's mentally and emotionally unstable. She's on full self-destruct mode. And she's cuckoo, I think. Okay, so what else do I want to talk about? Well, I could talk about the thing with Juice, but here's the thing. Actually, I want to talk about the preview more than I want to talk about Juice. Because the thing is this. What we saw in the preview for next week's episode about Jax talking to Eli and Eli talking about revealing the rat at that table, the preview suggests that maybe Eli is going to give up Frankie You know, because they're on the hunt for Frankie now. Maybe Eli's going to give up Frankie. Maybe could possibly have some type of evidence to give up Clay. I think he's going to give up Juice. That's what I think is going to happen. I think Eli's going to give up Juice. And if that's the case, then I think Juice is, you know, the shit with Juice is gonna come to a head next week. And the reason why I'm getting that vibe is this, because this is the episode, more so than any other episode this season, where Juice has been active. You see what I'm saying? Juice had a presence in this week's episode. He is starting to get more involved, you know. Him hearing the conversation with Clay and Tara. Him being on the lookout, you know, calling Clay up when the Nomads showed up at Wayne's trailer. Him asking Clay, what the fuck is going on? Twice he's done that in this episode, you know, asking Clay, what did you do to Tara? What the fuck's going on with the Nomads? And then we even saw a brief clip in the preview for next week's episode where Clay is asking Juice some questions. Juice wouldn't start getting active out of the fucking blue for no reason. There's got to be a reason why now Juice is starting to ask these questions, because it got to lead somewhere. And I think that's where it might be leading, but we'll find out. And if that's the case, I'll probably talk about Juice in more detail next week, because if my theory's right on that, I'll pretty much have some stuff to say. Especially if they kill Juice in next week's episode, because remember we saw the whole thing with the gun and the cut, you know, the person with the cut in the bag over their head. If that's Juice, I'm gonna have some stuff to say about Juice, about just about his whole situation in next week's review. So gonna see what's going on with that. Anyway, so that's going to wrap up my review for this week. I want to thank you all for joining me again this week. In the comments below, let me know what your thoughts are on this week's episode. Tomorrow, Arrow review. Found out yesterday, Arrow's been picked up for a full season. 22 episodes. So yeah, looks like Arrow's going to be with us for the fall and the spring, which is pretty fucking kick-ass, man. Now I'm excited. I mean, because I just liked Arrow, but now I'm like legitimately excited that it's gonna have a full season. All right, we got 22 episodes. Let's see what they can do with these 22 episodes. I'm actually stoked now. Okay, now we're talking. Now we got some shit going on. Okay, so Arrow review Wednesday, and I'm going to try. Can't make any promises yet. I'm gonna try to get that discussion of the week and Comic Book Hollywood review out this weekend. I'm gonna try, but I'll keep you guys posted to see what's going on with those videos. So that's gonna do it for me this week. I want to thank you all for joining me again this week, and this has been Larry Williams, OAW Commander in Chief, signing out. And until next time, peace.